Hello guys. So today I came up with a project for sales forecasting for Filmora. So this is a dashboard was created for the company called Filmora. It's a B2B sales company and B2C sales company. So there are a couple of problems that were raised in a meaningful time, and we started out some of the issues by creating this dashboard and doing some prediction algorithms. So first, let's see how we got the data and how we sorted the things out. So here, this is the major title. It's for sales forecasting as well as inventory optimization. Uh, so if you see, this one is an end-to-end data analytic pipeline to optimize the sales forecasting, inventory restocking, and as well as sourcing decisions. So here I used Python. ML database is Neon. It's a relational database, so I will be showing you that shortly. Coming to Google Sheets, I will tell you why I use the Google Sheet. And next will be the Looker Studios. So that's what the dashboard is made of. So let's see the business problems over here. You see, the retail business often struggles with some of the things like stockouts and overstocking, manual and error-prone restocking processes. So I will say what's that is about. Lack of predictive analytics for demand forecasting that we have covered. Poor visibility into future inventory and sourcing needs that also we have covered. Let's see some of the core questions. Can we automate the process of sales forecasting and inventory planning? We will be seeing how we have done that. Can we deliver accurate prediction in a business-friendly format? That also we'll see. Can we build a real-time dashboard for the better decision making? So we'll be covering those things. Let's see how the solution was implemented, and then we'll go into the code by one by one. You see, we load the raw sales data from Shopify or CSV. So we used both some direct CSV import. There are better ways to do it also, but this is a company requirement, or you can say that it's a small company and it's there is no large data. If there was a large data, then we will be going with the BigQuery. But right now, this is fine. We store the data into the cloud database that is Neon. It's a free source, and I will be telling you why we use the Neon rather than using any other sources. So that will be very interesting. And we use some of the models for LightGBM, XGBoost to forecast the sales. I will be sharing you why we use those things. Then we can say that we have done the restock and sourcing recommendations as well. So final input, final output will be going to a Google Sheet. From there, we will be creating our dashboard. So right now, the first step will be you have to connect your Google Drive. So we will be using those Google Drive. And this project is very independent, doesn't require any local system. Once you're done, you can run these things in any system with your email account. So if you want to say, so let's so over here the major part are in the PY files that are in the source folder. So we are only calling those functions of that file. We are not putting the file details in each of these cells. So that's a very standard procedure or company-wise procedure, I would say. For most of the people try to create the project in this manner so that it's less messy and people can easily understand what data in which file we are taking, and it's easy to understand as well. So let's go into Shopify thing. So I will be showing you the Shopify PY. So this is a Python file which we are calling. Let's see, we have JSON format. I will show you why the JSON format is not typically I can show you because it's having some secret keys, but let's see. Um, so over here I have my Shopify AI API credentials. So yes, we use the Shopify API to pull the data of the orders from date to date, and on our file you can see that we are giving those dates as well. So we are calling that function. This is a fetch order function, and we are sending those parameters over here to the to the to the function. I would say we have created the token, and we are requesting those states orders. So this is the total area where it calls the data in a JSON format, and then handle the paginations, I would say, and it returns the order over here. So after that, we are getting those orders with certain data. I would say like the customer ID, the first name and last name of the customer, the created date, which mostly gives us the timestamp, which we can use for visualization part at the time of visualization, the product name. SKU is the unique ID of any product in the market, so that will be very helpful. Quantity will be using for sales forecasting, for the resource and the stock as well. And the total price of the purchase by the in the point of customer and in the point of product. So after this, I put the string of the Neon database as it is. I didn't hide anything because it's not a big deal. But the better approach will be to create a .env file and put those things over there. But over here, it's easy for us to view this thing or easy to uh, like utilize for any other future generator codes. So that's why this is fine for the company. And there's a pipeline we run. So this is a main function. So there are some orders fetch code, which is the I would say the timeline for I would say the hard coded date, but mostly we will be giving those dates from uh, the notebook. So there is no need to run these things. All right, so this won't be running, and that's is about the Shopify thing. Now, once you get the data, you push the data. Now we need some of the local CSV files. So let's go into the local CSV files where so I created a folder called data. Over here, I have some of the folders like my stock. So these are the files which are having the stock supplier list. So any supplier gives you a list of what products he has. So we have to predict like which product we can source from him. And the later will be the trend data. So trend data is mostly a data which we can get from Amazon. So like which products are in trending in our product criteria. So over here, this is a perfume company. So we will be getting data of the perfume companies, and we will be utilizing those things. Yep. And as well, let me show you the data how it's look like before we moving on. So this is the product data. You can download those files I've provided in the GitHub file. So you can get it from GitHub. So you can see this is a sample service name. It's a randomly created products. The data. So you can give your data and you can predict also. But this is what we are doing to get the fields which we are intent to see. So this is the thing. Uh, So you have the quantity on hand right now and the quantity as of the date. Then you have the trend data. So you can see 7 day sales, 30 day sales, trend score, trend category, source, the price, everything as is here. So we'll be utilizing these fields for mostly for the prediction of the XGBoost and LightGBM. So this is the supplier data. So you have the supplier name, SKU, quantity, unit cost, lead time days. So which day we can get it for, in how many days we can get it for, what is the price. Uh, so there are much more things over here. So that's what I can say. After getting everything, you will be going into the final inventory. So let's see the final inventory. So okay, so let's before that let's see. I have to tell you the restock, right? Restock. So over here you can see from the right now we have all the files in the SQL database. So you can see the SKU quantity and the orders. So load my stock and rename correctly. So over here we spend is that we collected the stock, we pulled all the data in the quantity, and we have changed the data frame into a numeric for the quantity on hand. Uh, Fill NA with zeros. We are doing that, and then supplier data, same thing. Calculate average daily sales per SKU. So we are taking the SKU from the orders and we done the average mean daily sold is equal to quant and then not sales summary with my stock. So over here we took the average daily sales and based upon the sales which we have and the stock which we have and from the source which we can get, we can say that how much restock is needed. So if the restock is needed, it will be true or else it will be false. And we have a restock recommendation uploaded to the Neon. So there is a restock recommendation in the Neon database. Let's see if we have those things. Restock recommendation. Yep, we have those things. So we got the data which restock is needed. Then let's get into the sourcing. So sourcing is in that way that if we have the potential margin, so here we took the margin like based upon the margin like 10 and the trend score, we pull the source that we can take from this person, the supplier, and we will be having uh, like a minimal margin that we can gain for. If you see, we have the average market price on the market, how much the price gonna be, and the unit cost at the per item, how much it gonna cost for us. So by removing the cost from the average market price, okay. So how much amount will be beneficial for us. So that's the mostly the margin. So we are making sure that margin should be greater than 10. So we left with $10 after getting from there and selling from them. And there will be much more things in detail if you say if you're, there will be a market percentage as well. If we are directly selling, then there is mostly shipping charge, but if you are selling through an e-commerce platform, if I would say like Amazon or Walmart, then we have to calculate those things as well before you summarize the potential margin. So after that, we will be creating those tables and if we're gonna pushing into the Neon database. So that's what we're gonna do. Um so mostly we have the code for run the functions, but mostly we are running through the names file, so that's what mostly we are doing. So these are the things are like for the backup, so you can copy those things any one of these and run individually as well. um, then we get the final inventory, so that's what I was to share you, the final inventory. So final inventory mostly collates both the sourcing recommendation and the stock recommendations, and it will be in a one file format. Why we are doing this? Because it will be helpful for creating the dashboard. So that's the major thing, and it's easy for people to see like which SKUs are recommended for restock, as well as are having good trend score as well, and which new products that we can buy, and we can try to see that if we can sell those things as well. So these codes are mostly related to that. Add missing columns with none to align both data frames. If there is any column which doesn't have the same type of things, then we are replacing with null. You can replace with anything, but right now we don't want to do an average or mean for those things. So we are keeping this that aside. So there is a combining happening over here. So we are concatenating the source columns and restore columns into one, and then we are pushing those things into the neon database. So all that. Let's get into 1 second. Sorry for that. Let's get into the our prediction algorithms, the light BGM and the sales. The sales, mostly the sales part is handled with this model, the light VGM, because it's a model which performs good with the small amount of data, and XGBoost is mostly the larger thing which handles with the larger data. So we will be using these both for different departments. Coming to the sales, we took you can see the overlay that we have targeted the sales with the 7 days, which by summing them up and seeing which queues sold most in that week, and based upon that we did some future engineering. That's mostly we separated the data timestamp into different columns like week, month, and as well as we have some feature columns that we are targeting for training the model. So this is a very basic part of how a ML model works. We load the data, we train the data, and the output of the data is getting into the Neon database. Over here, there is no visual part coming up like how the data fields are, how the output source is, but mostly we will be looking into that in our visual part. That's a BI tool looker. So mostly will be not showing up here. But at the time of initial time, while you creating the model, you can put those things so that you have a better understanding before you create your Looker Studio dashboards. But right now, everything is done, and this is a final format that we are end up with. And then let's get into the XGBoost. Over here, we took the neon URL. That's mostly the token which will be taking to get the data from the database. Forecast horizon 30 days we have set up. So these are, if you read about XGBoost, then you will know how it's gonna work and how these are very matters most. The velocity days, the fast QTL, the trend threshold, how much I'm putting for, the margin, how much I'm looking for, the safety days we are taking for 7 days. The min days per SKU will be three. So we are focusing that between 3 to 7 days, the product should be moved out. So it has to be sold. So that's what the major thing we are looking for. It's a simple technique for first one. It's load the database, the tables, and then cheaper supplier. We are getting that. We already in the margin part and other things. So we have those things. Daily sales plus velocity. With the sales data, we can say that which SKU has better performance, and we are getting those things. That's the major thing we have. This is a pre-SKU exhibit. So daily from SKU in daily SKU, min days we are taking out, and we are replacing, like we are getting the days, months, and much more things from here from this queue. And then we are training the data for these things to perform well. So the training is done for here, uh, and then we have the future dates by weeks, by day, by month. So we are making sure that we go- got the data in date format, columns in date format, weeks and month, so that it will be better for our uh, dashboard creations. And no skew had enough history of forecasting. That's the mostly thing. If there is any, there is a skew which has less trend score, doesn't have any of those things. Mostly your my stock data doesn't have those things. So you have to look for that and you have to change it, or you can fill those things with zero or any other data. Okay. Um, Merge an optional cheaper filter. This is mostly for 30 days and we name it as forecast 30 days. So this thing says that in a month, this many of the products will be moved on. So if there is any NS, we are filling that with the market price. If there is nothing, we cannot give any thing. So we keep it as N1. Quantity we can keep it as zero. Availability quantity and on hand is mostly the same, but these columns may be different for different files. So we are doing that. Uh, and then you can see flags by quantity reason. So over here we can say that which we can buy and why we can buy. We are giving the reason, the trend. We are taking the trends of the data, the margins of data. We can say that it's a fast moving, or you can see fast tag. It's a fast and high margin, fast seller or high margin. So if it's a fast seller, maybe the margin may be that good for that, but we can sell it out very quickly. Or else we have a high margin product that maybe takes time, but each sale get us more profit. But there is some of the products which are having fast movers and getting high margins, so we'll be taking consider those things. So that's the major part we are looking for the stakeholders to see which product they can perform or they can get for. So once we are done with the models, everything runs up, all is good, and we are having all the data. Then we get into, so these are the major same things. Each calls, each runs those functions and provide the data. So that's what. Here comes the major part. So over here, what we are doing is we are pulling the data from the Postgre database, the Neon Cloud database, and we are importing into our Google Sheet. So you can go into the Google Sheet. Oops, let's see if this specific works. Yep. Yep. So we have those things over here, the potential margin. You see that there is no transpo because these are restock, these are my stock which I have, and there is no data available for these. But the source news we have the transpo and the potential margin, so you can get the data from there. Uh, so this is the final output. You see available quantity, the transpo, the average market price, days of week, days of month, actual sales which we get, and the predictive sales. So it's a the predictor model and the sales which we have. You see that some are quietly the same, some may change, some are different. So we'll be looking for those things on our dashboard. And coming to sales forecasting. So this is the sorry, the smart forecasting. So this is for the individual SKU. You see for 30 days, these many products may be sold. There is zero trend score that it will gonna have, like people will be buying for. But based upon the trend score which we have at the time of supply, we can state that we have around 261 on hand, and the units per day which we can sell is 3. So that's what we are looking for. The gross margin is high. You can see it's 15.314. Margin per count, I would say, is less, but the gross margin is high. So that you can say that most of the things are very less margin per count, but it's the thing which we are taking for per item, fast tag, true, margin tag, true, safety, recommended reason, you see fast and high margin. Fast seller, you see the gross margin is very low. Okay. But you can see that you see the margin per count is also very low. So it's a fast seller, but you will be losing so much of margin. Uh, and then yep, those are the data which we got for. You can pretty much change these things based upon your product data, but this is the data which I had, and I was keeping those points. Let's get into our Looker Studio. Over there, we can see what's the matter is happening. So this is the format that I use for my Filmora website. So this is the website which we are working on. So I use mostly the theme of those things, and I created this dashboard. That's why it's in blue, light blue, and in blue variants. So let's see, we can. This is an interactive dashboard, not a static one. So you can see total how many SKU we have. We have around 51 SKUs, and you can mostly see the data how we have combined those things. In this video, mostly I only sharing those things with you guys. But if it's a if you want to see how this data is pulled down with the three data sources, you can see in the Google Sheets we have three sheets, Google Sheets, which are pulling out the data. So total SKU, 30 days factor, average FA, and total quantity by quantity we are looking for. This is for the you can see the daily sales rate. You can measure those things. You can change, and mostly based upon that, you will be moving those things as well. You can see the actions, new source, new restock. So you can see if you're trying to see for the restock products, you can see those things. Or if you want to see for the source new products, that also you can see. For source new, you see there is no printer sales right now. So after we sold them, only we can know that which are gonna be uh, having the sales. So this is a tricky part, I would say, and it's a challenging part for the company to source new products. But yeah, for source new, we have other more techniques that we are taking up for looking for. Okay, so over here we have taken so many things into consideration. Mostly the thing is like the predicted sales and actual sales. So you see the predict sale, actual sale, and the predict sale mostly matches. So that I would say that our prediction algorithms are working fine. And then we can say the actions like which are restock, which are new, what is the average quantity, market average market price, cross margin. So those things you can see with the table, in the table as well. This is a pie chart of sales forecasting. So, which are the high margins? So, you can see these are 30 to 33% of the SKUs. These are two for the total 51 SKUs. We have 17 are like high margin, two are low margin, and 32 are doesn't have any margin right now. Okay. So, these are the data points which doesn't have any margin factor. So we'll mostly be concentrating on the high margins and the low margins so that we can know which we have to take. And mostly for this pre like post I would say the post visualization has to be done. Like we have to take another steps or measures to find out why how we can tackle these data points. You can see over here, this is the available quantity. So you can see how many products are in. You see this one has very high quantity, and you see it's 30,213, and predictor sales is high. So you can bet on this product. If you say some of the products has predicted sales less, but quantity is high. So you can say that these type of things you can exempt to restock again. But this is a mostly a big picture for the companies to see for the perfumer company to see which product to be resourced and from where to resource, and we can show much more data set as well, like how much we can resource from which supply we can resource, so we can ask those things. But right now this is a compact thing which we are trying to show to the company. So if so I will be providing the GitHub link to you guys, so you can check out the project over there, and you can correct me if there is any issues or it can be better. But the client is satisfied with what I have done, and yep. So uh, there is a better I would say project with using some of the OpenAI features. Like we have an API that gives a chatbot, but for this video, this is like a demo version for the company which I've done. So I can share these details with you guys. But if you want to see how we can connect the OpenAI and do those things as well, let me comment about that, and I can show guys how it gonna be done. And in mostly in couple of days, I'll be showing you other project as well. That's on the post that's on the Tabula. So I'll show you that also. I'll just teach you guys. I'll just show you the minimum. It's also for a company that I've created. So let's see that how you guys think about it, commented it about. Let's see if it's ready. Yep, it's the placement is little wrong, so I will correct these things. But yep, this is a public churn model, churn analysis. I will share you this also with you in the next couple of videos. There's some work has to be done, but it's mostly the placement. But major the code, the things are already done, so no need to worry about that. Okay, all right, guys. I will be ending this video. Let's catch up in the next video. Thank you.